What is up, every pony? Why do I do those kind of intros? Okay. Oh, this is the Q&A video, but before I get started, I want to talk about the character I'm drawing. Her name is Celeste, and she's a bit of an old OC that I've had. I don't have much to her story. It's just that whenever she goes to sleep, she dreams that she's a star goddess. But she's not sure if that's reality or if that's just this recurring dream that she has. And there's really not much to her other than that. But her design is like centered around hinting at the stars, and her name's Celeste. Cassandra Castell asks, "Hello." Hello. Flaming Hot Muffin asked, "Do you have any singers or bands that you listen to? If so, who?" My favorite singers are Gregory and the Hawk, Regina Spektor, and Mika. But I pretty much listen to everything else too. I'm sure there's one singer I'm forgetting about who I like very much, I guess. Maybe one that I'm a bit obsessed with. Who knows? Maybe one that follows me back on Twitter or something. I don't know. Hey, all these people asked, how do I plan my stories in OCs? So, I have so many at this point that they just, like, hit me like a truck sometimes. But if I see a picture that I like, or a name, or a design, or something that I like, I usually save that in my mind so that I can make an OC out of it. And a lot of times it's me just looking at a story that's already made and thinking, man, this story would be better if this was different, or if this was different. Like, for Pepto, it's pretty much every zombie apocalypse story, how they're all about constant murder and constant just being outside and finding all these people and making these groups and the people in the groups getting killed off. And nobody ever just like hides it out, which seems like the most logical answer. So Pepto is just about two people who are hiding it out, and everyone else was smart enough to leave. Except them. And Sight, the old version, was pretty much every young adult novel at the time. And the new version is... So, in Miraculous Ladybug, whenever the characters transform into their superhero selves, they don't look very different. You could just look at them and tell that they're the same person. So, in Sight, whenever they transform, they look different. So, just look at a story and see how you think that it would improve. And go with that. Bookwormy asked, what was my inspirations to start Sight? How did I find the idea to have nights and days, their different eye colors, the powers, everything you make it so original? No, it's not original. So, the powers are just generic powers that everyone has, except the Reflectionist and Bailey's power, which I don't have a name for. But those are kind of from two of the main characters from that old series, Heroes. And I just kind of clung on to those powers ever since whenever 2005 or whenever it came out, whenever I was like a baby. And the eye colors, there was this book that I read and loved whenever I was little called The Girl with the Silver Eyes, and it was about this girl who had superpowers, and they had other kids with superpowers, and they all had silver eyes. And the old version of Sight, the old one before I came up with the days and nights, their eyes changed from bronze to silver to gold. And then I just changed them to relate with daytime and nighttime. And I stole the concept of night and day from science, from just how the world works. Because that's how the world works. You have night and day. So I'm not really that creative. How do you decide which stories are shit and which ones are worth writing and planning out? Usually the ones that I like throw out are the ones that are just super underdeveloped or kind of just fade in comparison to my other stories. Or if I have like a similar concept to another story with that one, and I want to just like look at all the concepts from that one and put it in this other one. But for Sight, I have sentimental value with it, so I wanted to redo it, and I miss the old stories sometimes, but I couldn't really stick with it because they just had so much to the story, so many different plot lines from all these different characters just shoved in, and it was hard to try to find a way to make all of them connect into one coherent story without it just being too overwhelming, so I kind of just threw it out. Is my tongue paralyzed? Do I wear a retainer? No, I have a lisp. I can't fix it, I can't change it. It's caused by the bones in my face. So I'm stuck with it unless I get super crazy surgery, which I don't want to get. That's painful, and I can live with not being able to pronounce tons of things correctly. And I'm just saying it like this. I'm pretty sure these comments weren't hostile, but half of the time I get, oh my god, I love your lisp, and other times I get like, you don't know how to talk. Learn how to talk. You suck at talking. I hate your voice. So, I'm keep the good comments. I like the good comments. Quit commenting the bad ones. I can't fix this. It's just part of me. It's just something you gotta deal with if you wanna keep listening to these videos. And if not, there's a mute button. You could just only watch my speed paints that I don't talk in, or mute them and play your own music, or not even subscribe to my channel. Just, I can't fix this. This is part of me. It's just something about me it's how I am. And if I could change it, I would, but I can't. I'm stuck with it. And I think out of everyone, I'm the one who hates my voice the most, because I have to edit these videos and hear it all the time, and it drives me crazy. I actually don't rewatch my videos because of how much I hate my lisp. Jade KX, could I do a hair tutorial? I tried a few months ago to make a video that was a hair tutorial, but I just can't really figure out how to put it into words. How I do it, it's hard. It's kind of muscle memory. You make flowy lines, and if you want the hair to look full or messy, just add extra lines. This description is not helpful. I can't. I'm really bad at it. And every time I draw, pretty much every time I draw, it's a different way of drawing hair, because I don't have one specific style. LPS Paradise asked, which OC of mine is my favorite? Teg, the fish who works at Home Depot. And he does not realize he's a fish, but every time he goes to Long John Silver's, he feels a little bit uncomfortable. Fatu asked, do you like doing any other form of art besides drawing? I am not good at anything else. This is my only skill. I've tried and tried to be better at other things, but I'm not. At least I got art. I'm good at that. Sugar and Tea asked, would I ever consider writing or rewriting Sight? Yeah and no. I wouldn't write it down as a novel, because I'm bad at writing. But I'm planning on making it into a webcomic in the future. I just can't really do it right now because I already have a webcomic that I'm doing that I'm kind of falling behind on, because that's enough stress. Plus, I'm going to college this month. Oh my god, I'm going to college this month. And I'm also trying to make videos more often on this channel because I like you guys. And I kind of have a lot on my plate. It would be hard to do multiple webcomics at once, especially considering that February was whenever I started my first one, and I'm just so new to this. Tomboy Girl asked, what's my favorite color? Hi, I'm Periwinky, and my favorite color is periwinkle. When did you start drawing, and what got you into art? I've been technically drawing all my life, but I first actually got into drawing and improving on art and focusing on art whenever I was 13. And I guess I can tell you guys the full story. I'm kind of comfortable with myself enough to do it. I mean, well, this is the first time I actually told the real version of it. But I mean, if you're gonna talk about your dark past for the first time, why not do it in front of 13,000 people simultaneously? Okay, so this is gonna sound like every draw my life or whatever, but I was bullied at a young age, and that caused me to have depression at a young age. And by the time I was 13, I kind of shifted from I want to die to I don't want to die, but I don't really have a reason. to live. So then I tried to get into a hobby so that I could trick myself into staying alive because, hey, here's a purpose. You could do this, you could do that. And I tried things like sports or dancing, and I just couldn't get into them. Tried a bit of writing too. Was not good at that. And then one day I was playing these old sim dates by this person, Pactuses. And I love them to this day. They're kind of cringy, but I think they're charming. They have sentimental value to me. They saved my life, Pactuses. I owe you my life. Whoa. I got burp in every video. But I remember the exact moment that changed my life. I was playing Idle Days Sim Dates, and there's this phone booth. And in these bushes to the side of it, if you click on them, the bushes part, and there's a wallet. And you gotta grab the wallet, and you gotta give it to this guy, and that's how you unlock the guy. And I right-clicked instead of left-clicked, and that somehow led me to her DeviantArt page. And that introduced me to DeviantArt. And I saw this community that, to a 13-year-old, it's not that bad. To a 19-year-old, though, ooh, mama. But, like, it was this community that was full of artists, young and old, good at art, bad at art, just starting, been doing art for years, and, like, all these fun art memes that you could do and try out, and it kind of got me started in art, because I was like, hey, here's a place where I could draw and not be yelled at for doing really crappy art. And I wasn't that popular on there, but hey, I was on there, and that kind of tricked myself into it because I was like, okay, so you can't die until you run out of things to draw. And then I just kept making stories, and more and more and more and more stories. And now it's 6 years later, and my biggest worry is that I'm going to die naturally before I get to tell all of my stories. And now, before I get a flood of comments asking if I'm okay, the past year I've been kind of okay and safe to say that I don't have depression anymore. It's not on the forefront of my mind anymore. It's more like just a mood that I pop into every once in a while, and I can get over it. It's not just a state of being that I'm in at all times. And it's honestly a breath of fresh air because I haven't felt as good as I do now since I was 9. So, that's my origin story. God, I probably shouldn't have told you guys all of that, but I did. Whatever. Here we go. Next question. Tate Guy asks, whomst of your OCs whips the best? God, Tate, I fucking hate you. Anna's Bucket. Tate's sister asks, whomst of your OCs wants to catch these hands? Leg, because he needs them. LPS Paradise asked, if you could have powers, what would they be? Either the ability to freeze time, or the ability to shapeshift. I always like those a lot. Do you do traditional art, or only digital? I do both. I've been doing more traditional nowadays because my webcomic's traditional, and it's easier to post videos on here if it's with traditional art. I don't really have a camera. The only one that I have can record only 10 minutes at a time. So I can't really do speed paints with that, and it's just really hard to record whenever you only have 10 minutes. And finally, do I animate? I haven't really tried it that much, except earlier this week I tried to do a little animatic, and I'm still working on it. I only worked on it for like 30 minutes so far, but here's what I have so far.
I am hanging in the bathroom at the biggest party of the fall. I could stay right here or disappear, and nobody'd even notice at all.
Yeah, I'm one of those fucking musical people, but yeah, what are you gonna do? It happens. But hey, also, now that you mentioned animating, I'm gonna throw a shout out to my father, Wolf Domo, over here. He makes animations. He actually did one that has Bucket from Pepto and one of the Pepto zombies in it for like a second, and I love it with all my heart. And he's wonderful, he's amazing, he's my father. He's not actually my father. And he's not my daddy. He's just he's my dad. Boogie woogie woogie. And If you go on his videos and comment anything stupid about how he draws in the Minecraft style, I will eviscerate you. I won't actually do that. I can't physically do that. But I'll want to. Unless that's something you're into. Then I won't do that. I'll just be sad. So that's the end of the video, and I hope you liked it. Hope you don't block me on social media. Hope you have a fine day. Woo! Don't woo. See ya.